Welcome back to the Urban Wisdom. Today, we have a very special guest, Bala Srinivasan. He's not only an entrepreneur, but also a mentor, coach, and real estate investor. So today we're going to learn from him the importance of mindset. This is a 2-series episode. So today we're going to discuss about mindset, and in the next episode we're going to discuss about real estate investing. So stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have a very special guest. Please help me welcoming Bala Srinivasan to the podcast. Bala, thank you for coming here tonight.
Hey Sandeep, thank you so much for taking your time and doing this. You're providing a lot of value, sharing a lot of insights. Really appreciate that. The thought of inviting me, and then I'm so happy to be here. So thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah, pleasure is mine, and our viewers also. So it's your first time here, so please introduce yourself to the audience.
Absolutely. Well, yeah. So as Sandeep was saying, my name is Baba Srinivasan. As actually it's Saravana Baba, but still, since I moved to Canada, I had to shorten the name to Baba. So you know the story, right? So everybody, all immigrants, nicknames per se. So been in Canada for almost 18 years. Originally from South India, Tirupur. So I do a bunch of stuff. I work in a telecom company. I do sales. I head the business development. And then I do real estate. So I buy apartment buildings in Nova Scotia. I'm a coach and I own a restaurant downtown La Belle opposite to Bell Center. And then right now I'm into exploring new other business opportunities. So ideal goal is to have, 7 passive incomes. I'm working towards it. Very big on mindset. I've literally changed my whole life. So as a nutshell, married, have a kid, a 6-month-old daughter, wonderful wife. And that's in a nutshell.
So when you were saying all about yourself, I was thinking, I can have like 10 episodes with him.
No, man. It's,
you do so much stuff.
I feel like it's everybody's doing, their best to bring out their best and be their best. So I think I'll still be trying and implementing a lot of stuff. So happy to be here and share whatever I know and learn from everybody.
Right. So tell me about your background. How did you get into this mindset space?
Yeah, I think I would call myself a rebirth, let's say 6 years ago. The mindset is a loaded word, right? So, because right now everybody's using mindset. I think right from the get-go, we are all used to this type of words, but in a different way. Because, it's all about habit. It's all about how you think right from school, right? So that's why we are conditioned to, go to school, wear the same dress, do the same habits, study. But at that time, I think we were not thinking in that perspective because we never know the words, right? And then how you use it and how you implement it. So that's why, I was one of, like everybody, right? Where I wanted to, always wanted better in my life in terms of lifestyle, in terms of being happy, in terms of, being calm, and really kind of, not owning your destiny, but figuring out what you're trying to do. I think it was like when I moved here 18 years ago, when I was 18, I was trying to look at a lot of other people and try to see how this person is kind of happy, or this person reached a level of achievement at work, or how is he passionate about studying. I'm always curious about people. Like that's one of the things that made me who I am today. Like I was always curious about how this guy can able to do and I cannot able to do. I think that was one of the biggest switch I was already have in my mind. Like, so, talking about habits, right? When I was really big when I was young. So I had to go to the gym and then reduce my weight. So, and I learned a lesson from there, right? Which means that if I put the time and if I really dedicate myself, and this can happen, that's one of the biggest eye opener for me. If I can do this, I can do anything else. That's how my mind got pretty much surprised with myself, saying that, okay, if you can do this and change yourself, you could do anything else. All right. So that's one of the main thing that triggered in me. This was during university. This was when I was 19, 20 years old, and I started going to gym, reducing weight, and then I was seeing the difference in my energy level. At that point, I was not knowing more about energy level, like how to probably think about it. At that time, my only hustle was I was working 3 4 jobs. I want to pay my tuition fees. I don't want to ask any money from my parents. That was my only goal. So everybody has their own milestone, and how do you go with your milestone is based on how you can optimize with what you have, right? So that's how it all started. So going back to the question, I think that's how it changed perspective for me.
Right. So basically, you're saying you learn from life. Every small things that you do in life, you literally learn from that. Like you're going to the gym, you don't get the muscles like the first day you go. You
Yep.
need to be consistent. You need to be disciplined.
Yep.
Then only you have to invest.
Yep.
So
You have to invest
probably
in yourself, like invest in how you think, not just, hey, I'm going to think about how I'm going to do this and then not taking actions, right? So you have to take action. At the same time, the quality of your thoughts is depends on what you eat, how do you sleep, everything matters, right? I feel this is a whole life cycle of yourself, including what do you think about? Like your quality of your thoughts is quality of a life, right? What do you think about is what's going to happen, right? And how do you talk to yourself? How do you talk to your inner self? How do you act on it when things go right? How do you act on it when things go wrong? Instead of reacting, respond. Like these are the stuff you learn when you go with your life, right? And then obviously self-help books, meeting people with the personal development mindset, going to a lot of meetups that are personal development, right? And then learning about manifestation, learning about journaling, learning about, cold shower. So I was literally rigid like this for, let's say, 3 years. I was super, super intense about the schedule. I used to wake up at 5, Robin Sharma's 5 a.m. club. I wake up at 5. I dedicated myself to improve myself on this, and literally it changed the whole perspective, whole life, and things in me and things around me.
I didn't knew like we have so much in common because I do the same thing. I wake up early, 4:30, mention cold showers. I do the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everybody who's in this journey of self
Yeah,
development.
yeah, that's exactly how we aligned and how we met. I'm not surprised we met, right? Because you're in that
Exactly.
energy, like that's the only way. Because going with your life, before I used to always feel like, oh, I always feel FOMO, missing out a group meeting, missing out not going to a party, missing like because I used to be the guy that Baba is known for, like meeting a lot of people, having a lot of friends, right? And that's my old self. Now it's only quality people. I decide who I want to meet. I don't lose people, people lose me, right? So I'm in that mindset of when you're elevating in that energy, you only attract that kind of people. So
So yeah,
you're like that.
you said like mindset. You given me a lot of questions and whatever you said. So you said mindset is a big word, right?
Yeah.
So how can we define mindset so that it's easier to understand?
Yeah, it's very easy, right? What you set your mind into is it's all about you. It goes back to your question, right? What is your why? I would go back to peel the onions by asking, what is your why? That will decide exactly how your life you want it to be. If you don't know where to start, just ask yourself. I would really recommend you to read, whoever is listening, the book, Simon Schick book called Find Your Why, right?
Simon Sinek, yeah.
Yeah. So find your why, and that could really help. And if you feel like you're not the type of person who doesn't read books, then rely on the people that you're close to, like your friends, right? Ask them, what do you think about me, right? Ask people that you really love to tell them, right? Ask them to tell you how they feel about you. What do you think that, what do they think about you, right? That could really give us a perspective of what you, if you have an idea, right? And after that, trying to figure out, once you figure out like what's your why, it has to be super strong. Not like, maybe I want to do this, maybe I want to do that. You have to be very, very like, super, almost superstitious about what you believe in, right? And once you know at least like a path, then it's easy to set your mind into, right? Let's say your goal is if you want to reduce weight, right? Or, or you wanted to have a career path, or you wanted to make this kind of money, or you wanted to, move to a city, or you wanted to meet your loved ones. I think it's setting that, like, let's say a goal, and then thinking positive, right? Like that's why I said mindset is a big word, where people are using it a lot right now. But really figuring out like what you wanted would be the best thing to do to yourself. The more you're tuned into you, it's easy to figure it out,
Yeah,
right?
you're right. Like instead of finding how, you first need to find out why you need that.
Yes.
Then only you can, be disciplined and create a habit out of it and achieve it. Otherwise,
Yeah.
if you don't have
Because
a why and you
then
figure
you're
out
just
how to
like
do
you're
it,
just going in a highway without a destination, right? So
exactly.
because at some point you get burned out, because let's say I practice all this, right? And I wake up early, I build the discipline, but at some point you're like, why am I doing this for? Right? Like, yes, you would feel amazing, but you need to know what you're achieving behind it, right? And then you would know more about yourself, and whether you're a morning person or a night person, right? Like these are the stuff that really helps you. Like whichever is it's hard, like it's gonna make you happy after, right? Like cold shower, the first day that you did, probably you would be like, what the hell am I doing to myself? And now you can't even live without it, because like now, like if I don't feel good, either I go for a run or I do cold shower, or right. And then that, like, literally, like, you have a reset button within you, but you haven't known this all your years, right?
It
So
hits you, it hits you.
yeah,
You don't want your coffee anymore.
yeah, because I'm not a coffee person. Eventually, like, I don't drink coffee, but it's still like you wake up, and then all I tell myself when I do the cold shower is like, wow, I already won the day, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, because you're doing something hard in the morning, and you're like literally you feel good, you feel amazing. So
Somebody said like you do small, don't think about big wins. Start
Dreams.
from little wins. Do like make your bed in the morning, take
Yeah,
cold shower, do small things. It's gonna make you eventually you're gonna achieve your goal by doing small wins each day.
absolutely. Absolutely. I've been practicing something for the past few years now. The second I wake up, I feel so blessed, like wholeheartedly, that I'm awake, like I'm alive, right? And then I'm like, shit, everything else is a bonus. Like whatever happens is a bonus.
That reminded me of something.
Yeah.
I don't know, years back, I was listening to this Tony Robbins
Yep.
podcast, and he was taking a seminar, and there
Yep.
were two people. So it was like around 2008,
Yep.
and it was a stock crash, right? A
Yep.
market crash
Right.
that year. So one day, one person was like crying. He was like a millionaire, but he was crying like I lost this much money, and another person was jumping. So he asked that person, "Why are you jumping? Everybody, lost a lot of money. So why?" He said, I'm jumping. I'm happy because I'm still above Earth. I'm not
Yeah.
below it.
Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah. Like that's so, like, it really, really put so much perspective into my life. Like just by like feeling gratitude, just by
I think
waking up and like feeling that I'm alive. And any problem during the day, it's a bonus. And any blessing is a bonus. So that's how I think, like, hey, I have, like, I have hand, I have mouth, like I have air in my body, right? Like I can breathe, and everything else is a bonus. I don't care. So that really, like, I don't think about small things that would bother me, like, hey, the elevator is coming late, or like, I'm in the traffic. That doesn't bother me, because it's like it's just small things, right? Leave small things small. So
another day in paradise.
yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Before never used to, really understand the meaning of it, but now it's like, wow, it's purely amazing just to be alive. So
No, yeah, you're right. Actually, the power of gratitude is like amazing.
yeah.
If you don't do it, you cannot feel it. But when
Uh,
you start doing it, you'll be like, oh man, this is like a next level thing.
Yeah. No, no,
You need
really. I
to.
really, it really changes. And I really recommend people who are, listening to this should try it. Like, it's not trying, it's almost feeling it, right? You're feeling gratitude that, you're alive. And then I thank the universe and God, whatever you can call. And, that's how I wake up. So,
You also mentioned 6 years ago, you got another life. So something happened, or what happened
no,
there?
no, the reason why I say that is I was always, I had the best life I had, the best career. I was always getting promoted, and I had the dream car that I wanted to buy when I was, 24 years old. And then I was still not happy inside. I was like, okay, what's really happening, right? And that's how like the ship started. So I started reading self-help books, going to, public speaking, getting into, meditation. Before I used to like meditate here and there every time I need. And once like I started figuring out why I'm feeling this way, that's when the journey started, I feel, within inside more. Before that, I was like, I hate reading books. I was not a good guy. Like, in school, I would literally go last day before the exams. And this one, like, I really, really felt that it was talking to me, right? That's why I say like a rebirth, kind of, right? Where it really helped me. And then thought about like habits, like, doing the same thing over and over, over and over. And then it builds you as a person differently. And then like I started seeing changes around me, because once I started the changes in me, and then I started seeing the changes around me. So then I felt like, okay, I think I found myself, right? That's how I started figuring out a lot of stuff, and then still learning, man, still learning. So
So, okay, like you mentioned that you start seeing around you
yeah,
once you started doing it. That's amazing, right? So I'm just connecting it to mindset.
yeah, yeah,
So I also see like in simple words, I see the mindset as like when you wear shades, different color shades, right?
yep,
So you start seeing that color outside,
correct,
and that's how the mindset changes when your thoughts changes, right? And when you think about something, for example, you said you had a dream car, right? That you bought.
yep.
What's that car?
That's a Range Rover. Yeah,
Range Rover. Okay, perfect. So like our brain has like reticular activating system. Yes. So whenever I'm sure, like when you thought about buying that car, you always seeing it around yourself, right?
right, right. And
So
you only see
our
what you want to see, right?
exactly
So
because
that's
our
speaking.
brain filters it. Our
Yep,
brain just filters it and show it what we want to see.
yep,
Because like any other CPU, it's also our CPU, so
right.
it cannot process everything that we see.
No, no,
There's a guy sitting there.
yep,
There's a guard who's
right.
guarding like whatever you set your mind through. It just filters that out and shows it to you rather than like
Absolutely,
everything. So
absolutely.
that's how you start seeing all the things that were aligned to you
Yeah,
instead of that are not aligned to you.
absolutely, man. I totally, I think like the way you talk to yourself is much more important than how you talk to others, right? Because we try to learn so much stuff to be, you know, be nice and be welcoming and all those stuff. But I think the first thing is you have to talk to yourself in a nicer way and not be too hard on yourself, so that it helps you to not go into negative thoughts, rather than like I think, you know Sam is the one who found this on me, where I always only see good things in everything. Like that's how I was trained right from when I was younger. So if something bad happens, the first thing instinctively was I only see the good things. Like I won't, like I never, like never complain about things. And if somebody did something wrong to me, I always thought about the good things about what they did rather than the negative things. Even like, let's say I've been like I had an accident, and I always think about like the good thing. Hey, like at least I'm alive. It's only a car, right? Or something like that. So I that kind of helped me a lot in the ways like right now, the looking back, that and that kind of helped me to put the mindset of not talking negative thoughts or not even paying attention to those. You see what I mean? Like,
Oh,
because
yes.
we try to take like for example, if you want to be rich, right? Instead of seeing how much debt you have to focus on what you want to do rather than seeing how much debt I have. So that really helped me to put into perspective, that helped me to see, like, even when you talk about mindset, like what do you think is what you become. But that like really emphasize on what do you think. If let's say some negative thought goes out, that's the time you need to control and stop it and ask yourself, why are you thinking this way, rather than, why is this happening to me, right? And like there's so much that you should talk to yourself in a way that be nice to yourself, before you be nice to others, right?
That's amazing. It seems like you, from the childhood only, you had this growth mindset.
Yeah, I like honestly thinking about it, I felt like I always only look for good things and good
Yeah.
times. Like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. So you all, it seems like you always had the growth mindset. How, so tell like the viewers, like how, if somebody has fixed mindset, how they can overcome that.
I think first acknowledging that you have a fixed mindset would be the best thing, right? Like knowing yourself would be the best thing ever that you could do, right? And then acknowledging and then paying attention to small little things, right? Like conservative mindset, fixed mindset is basically you put yourself in a box. Nobody else did it. Nobody else did it. It's yourself thinking that, oh, maybe I'm introvert, maybe like nobody likes me, but you never gave a chance for other people to like you because you already closed up, right? Or maybe sometimes you might think you're introverted, but I feel we just categorize the name. I know every introvert people, they say themselves introverted, but they only talk to the people that they know very well, but they talk deep talk. I feel a lot of introverted people are deep talkers, but they say they are introverted. But extroverted people, they don't do deep talking because they just are facial. But it's all about like how they put themselves into, right? And then recognizing that and then taking small step, one step at a time, right? And if they feel like, oh, I don't know how to talk to people, the basic thing would be just acknowledging people when you're walking by, right? Smiling. Nobody says no to smile. And then doing small little gestures just to show them that I'm a human being, I care. I don't want anything from you, but I just want to show love. I think that's the best thing you can do to yourself, right? And
Right. Right.
doing one thing at a time.
Yeah. Yeah. So you mentioned like smile to others while walking on
Yeah.
the road, or
Yeah.
just compliment anyone, right?
Compliment anyone.
Yeah.
That's the next step after because compliment, you have to really think about that and then say it, right? But smiling is really acknowledging it right away, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I used to do that a lot during my, when I was graduating. I
okay,
used to do the same thing, like you said, just like walking on the, because I was always low in confidence
right.
and always self doubt. Still, I do it, but it's better now. I'm better than before. So I
Yeah.
used to go on the street, walk, and just compliment to anyone,
Yeah.
and people love it. Actually, the thing that you said is totally, people love it when you say it, and you also feel happy when you do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you're only showing what you have. Like these are the stuff you cannot fake it,
Right, for sure.
right? Like even smiling, right? Like I'm not saying like, hey, just asking like go, sometimes you get trained by saying certain things so that people will talk to you, but you don't have to do this. Just by smiling, you're literally saying that, hey, like I acknowledge you, right? So I think that's the start way to do. And then right after that, you increase it, right? Whatever you want to do. Let's say you feel like you don't like networking, you don't like feel like you don't, if you feel judged. So go to an event that you don't know anybody.
Uh,
Because if you feel like
yeah.
known people judge you, then go to a
Right.
place that nobody knows you,
Uh,
right? And then just the best thing you could do, talk about is, hey, tell me about yourself or what do you do? As simple as that, right? And then because people like to talk about themselves, right? And then they would share what they know and whatnot. It's just all about that one person has to take that action.
I want to add one more point that you mentioned before,
Yeah.
just not just before. So I just want to add it here. So you say, also mentioned that the people that you hang out, you said in a different way, but I'm just saying in layman terms. You said like your surroundings, people that you're around, that also helps a lot. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
if you know that you are around fixed mindset people, then just search for people who are in growth mindset, like you
Maybe the,
yourself.
maybe the question to you now would be, how do you know that you're in a closed mindset when the group of
We need
people?
to, yeah, we need to basically, if you self doubt and all those stuff, if somebody's listening to it and they can relate, oh, yeah, I do self doubt. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm in this negative habit. I'm always thinking negative. So they can know, oh, yeah,
I'm
this
not
is me.
growing. I'm stuck. Like we're not talking about, spirituality, health, how to improve life, how to make more money, how to do like whatever that is your current state is based on how you kept yourself, right? So that's a good way to know. Like they just say like change your group completely, right? And your network is your network. This is like everybody knows this, but it comes with that people too, right? Like not just the money net worth, it's like people as well. So like if they don't motivate you, if they don't challenge you, if they don't help you make more money, you're in the wrong group, right? So
Tell me, how important is wealth regarding happiness? Like, if we compare, so do you think like more wealth is equal to more happiness?
I don't think so. I think I see like two different ways. Like happiness should be like inside. I feel like you should be happy to make more money. You know what I mean?
That's
Like
the base.
yeah, I feel like it's like that's the basic need to even make like that's why I've never seen a billionaire or a millionaire who's sad, right? And that could be with anything, right? So I think it's the way that you look at things. That's how I see it. I think you have to feel like happiness or feeling peace within you first, and then that money just follows, right? Like I think it's a two different ways. I don't see like, hey, you have to just be happy to make money. I don't think so. I think it's a silo, right? So
Yeah. Because you see, like a lot of people say, oh, when I'm gonna have this much money, I'm gonna be happy. When
yeah,
I'm gonna buy that iPhone, the latest one, then I'm gonna be happy. But they
yeah,
don't understand that's just temporary.
yeah.
If
That's a lesson I learned when I bought my first dream car. Because me, that's why I said like, that was a change for me too, right? Because before I was like, oh my God, I'm going to buy this. And then I bought it. Literally after first week, I was like, is this why I was like talking about it for so long? My dream car, blah, blah, blah. After first week, I felt nothing. I was like, oh, wow. So then that hit me. It's like, that's why you have a goal, but you don't put happiness or stuff like in it. And then that's how like I started hitting me. It's like, okay, so now it makes sense. Because once you achieve something, you'll achieve it. And then after that, it's like, okay, it's a milestone. It's not like that's everything. So I think that's how like everybody like will learn from their own life. But the reason why you read books and whatnot, it's like people's experience putting together in a book for 30, 40 years. You can learn it in like, let's say whatever, and then implement it right away. So
yeah, you save time, a lot of time.
that's it. That's it.
Yeah. Sadhguru also mentioned this thing that happiness, that should be the base. I mean, it should not be dependent on anything. By default, you should be happy.
You should just be happy. Yeah.
Yeah. By default, you should be like that. That's your natural state.
I think if you're feeling really hard to get that state, go to the gym or do something like physical
Mhm.
activities that could help you to bring that, you know, dopamine, right? So,
Right, right.
yeah.
Yeah. So, are there any rituals or habits or practices that you do like every day? I know, like you mentioned gratitude, one thing that you do when you wake up. What other things you do during the day and end of the day to make
Before, like
yourself?
the first 4 years, I was very rigid about, writing grateful, writing affirmations, journaling, and then meditating. I mean, meditating now I feel like I don't write it, I live it. I don't write gratitude, like I just live it, you know? So
Beautiful.
now it's just like, small little things, right? Like, for example, I drive my car and then I'm like, wow, I just get like wowed by myself in so many ways during the day. It's pretty crazy. I'm just like, holy shit, look at this. Like this used to be a dream life, this whatever I'm living, and I'm just beyond grateful. Like I literally feel it. And then every time I wear my watch or like take out my wallet, when I put gas, like small little things, right?
Right.
When I make breakfast, when I cut this, when I do that. Before I used to write small like everything, and now like I'm living through it and then like living in it. So which like even when I take my phone, right? I'm like, shit, like with this I'm making money, right? Like just by phone and laptop. Once you start like zooming into stuff, like it gives a different feeling, I think. And then I try to meditate and then I read books every day. At least 20 pages. And then yeah, and then I have a vision board that I look at. And yeah, and then constantly thinking about like I always listen to podcast. Like when I'm driving, when I'm like literally when I'm not doing anything, it's like Only when I'm, going to sauna or pool, then it's my own thinking time with my thoughts. Other than that, it's pretty much like on your podcast, or like getting information. And then some, like, after a while, I stop for, let's say, a month, and then I wanted to sit with the information, because I can't just listen, and then I have to implement it, right? And then I implement it whichever I do. That's both in like business and personal, right? And then I meet people that are in personal development. Like, so I joined a personal development meetup, and then we meet once a month, and like they come and share their perspective, which is amazing that you learn from, right? And then yeah, so basically learning. And then now everywhere I go, like I go to a lot of networking events. Everywhere I go, I only meet that kind of people. So it's not even like now it's nothing a surprise anymore. Like the last like 3 years, first 3 years was like, oh my God, like, now it's just not even a surprise. It's like if I don't meet it, then I'm like, okay, maybe we didn't align. Right. So yeah,
Makes sense.
that's how it is. Yeah.
So, what do you put in your journal?
About basically sometimes I just talk my thoughts, like how my day should look like, right?
Mm.
And try to well, I have a notebook that I write goals every quarter, and then I have a yearly goal, and then I have a 5-year goal. So I start looking at that, and then try to see how far I reached. And then journaling is basically just waking up, and I just want to see how I feel, and then I write
Mhm.
down. And then it could be like being grateful for a friend that I have no idea, I send love by writing it. And then you know talking to yourself through pen. So that's how I see it. It changes every day.
Yeah.
Before I used to journal about my day should look like this. I should have an amazing day. Like now it's like I know it's already an amazing day because I woke up, right? So like once you grow within you, so you change things the way you look at it, right? And then now it's like all about literally being more present about things rather than
Mhm.
like finding, okay, maybe I should do this or do that, like achieve this or achieve that. Now it's more like deep stuff, right? Really how I feel and how is my breathing level, like small little things, right? So those are some of
Right.
the stuff like you learn. So
So you have a vision board, but do
yeah,
you also visualize every single day?
big time, yeah.
So do you believe in visualization and law of attraction?
I lived through it.
Okay.
Like I lived that through law of attraction visualization. I changed my life, like literally, like
Okay.
financially, like where I lived. So the home that we bought, I literally visualized my living room height to the height of it, to be very specific. So like literally everything. Like if I go, it was funny. Like the day before yesterday, I looked at my vision board. So let's say like I put traveling, right, and then like there was something on Google, and then that picture that you have like Rome, like all those different small little stuff. And then day before yesterday, I was just like, okay, maybe I went and looked at my old vision board. And then, without even realizing, I went to all those places. I didn't even know I put it there. Like I put Dubai, that Burj Arab, I put like few other stuff. And when I looked at it, I literally went to every place. I'm like, damn it, you feel surprised about your own life, like with vision board.
That's amazing. So how long it takes when you write it and when you visualize? So how long it takes to materialize in real life?
However, how much ever you tuned yourself, I think the more you tuned yourself, it's gonna happen faster.
Okay. And
And
is
I
there any
I, I
process?
manifest like I literally like manifest parking every single time I go out.
So you're super in tune.
Every time I go out, I get parking right in the front. It's a restaurant, place, whatever. I never walk. Like every time. If not, I just go one more round and then there's always parking in the front. Like stuff like that, right? Like
That's amazing.
it's amazing.
Is there a process like how do you in tune yourself so that you can attract while doing law visualization?
I think you'll have to first calm your mind, right? Usually like I try to do right after meditation, because that's the time like you're at most in your like theta energy, right? Like you're really in tune, and then you nothing is stopping you, then I visualize. Then you literally like see your life how you want it to be, right? Literally take your own journey, right? It could be anything, like a job that you're happy. If let's say you wanted to get promoted, think like you got the promotion a letter in your hand, and then you feel it in your body as if it happened, right? And then if let's say you want your dream car, like you literally feel like you have the car in your hand and you're driving it, and then you're going and go detail by detail, right? Like imagine you're going to St. Catherine, parking in front of Ogilvy, and then you have a valet parking, you're giving your keys to him, and then he's parking your car, right? And then you finish shopping, and then you're coming and putting that thing in your trunk, and then you're picking a car and driving. And then imagine you're parking that car in your garage. Like to the detail, right? And then like, yeah.
And you do it every single day until you manifest it.
Yeah, I try to do every single day, yeah. Whatever I wanted to achieve. Yeah. Yeah.
It's interesting. Good to
If you
know.
don't take time for yourself, the time doesn't help you, right? Whatever you need to achieve, like you have to put time into it, right?
100%. 100%.
Like maybe like if somebody's listening, it might be overwhelming. Start with one thing, right? Like small thing, could be small thing. Like maybe, there's a lot of books for law of attraction. Something I would recommend is start with Secret, right?
Mm.
Secret book. And then there is Abraham Hicks, Esther Hicks called Ask and It's Given, right? And then there's something called Pam Growth, the E-Square. That's something like, these are all like, they give exercise you can try. It will literally happen and it will blow your mind.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you follow Joe Dispenza as well, by any chance?
Oh, I love Joe Dispenza. I was supposed to go there. There's a retreat that's happening in Mexico right now. Like it's a 1 week retreat. Even like people who doesn't know, like even his meditation is super deep. Not like who are listening new, they could go and check that.
Beginners,
It's
yeah.
more deep, right? I love Joe Dispenza.
Yeah. Yeah, we should
And
go
I
like
and I
next
really
time.
believe it. I really believe it, right? I really believe that whatever you like your cancer and all those stuff, it's not like it's all about in your mind, right? If
Mm.
your mind is so not right, like you will get so many diseases. Like it's proven. Like I really believe it. Like you have to really pay attention to how you think, how everything happens in your life. Like it doesn't matter. Like whatever happens at work, how you respond to it, how do you react to it. Like that's everything, right? And when you're quiet and sitting, what do you think about it, right? And then what do you want to feel like eating? Like how you're fueling your body, right? And then how are you sleeping? Because it's all interconnected, right? But we don't think like that. We just think, okay, if I have a medicine, then I'm okay to really go and do this. But you might have not slept properly, which is like not slept for a long time, or there might be something that happened in your family that is bothering you, right? Like there's trauma that happened when you're younger, right? And then that's not happening, and that could be really, really changing whatever it happened, right? It's all interconnected.
So like we are in this habit of putting just Band-Aid and not fixing it from the root.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel that's like every time you feel something, it's because something happened, and the feeling like you have to do something with it. There's a reason why it came to you, right? Because we don't think about, oh my God, I'm so happy. We just only think about, oh my God, I'm so sad, right? So, but we never think about, oh my God, like, hey, I'm so happy. I don't tell this to anybody. I don't call, hey, Sandeep, I'm so happy, man. We don't say that, but we should. I feel like we should share
100%.
however we feel, right?
We should celebrate.
We only share about, oh my God, this happened. I don't know what to do. But like, why don't we change everything, right? Like, change your thinking,
Yeah.
change your life, right?
Yeah.
So,
There's a saying in India, right? If you share when you're sad or sorrow, the sorrowness decreases. When you share your happiness, it grows.
it increases. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
So
I believe it. That's why, like, if you really think about deep stuff, that's why back in the day, they had joint family, right? The concept
yeah.
of joint family is, you need to learn how, even though if you don't like certain things, you have to do that because, and then you had so many people to share whatever. So I feel that's why, like back in the day, we did not have a word called depression. We didn't have a word for, like people are taking pills, I'm anxiety. No, because like these were all taught through, and then that's how they made life back then. But
Yeah.
now it's like completely different, right?
No, before it was like depression. What is that?
Yeah, but even like imagine the difference now. Like now, we ourselves, we would be like, oh, I'm trying to, like, if I try to call my friend, maybe he's busy. I don't want to call him, right? Because we ourselves are doing it. We feel like, oh, we're disturbing their personal time or whatnot, but it
Right.
shouldn't be that way, right? It should
Right.
like I should have friends that, like, especially like, men's, we don't share a lot of stuff with men. I think it should be the other way around. Like when you're with that mindset, like I feel today, I share a lot of people with that person. When you're open minded, when you're working on your mindset, because people are open. People say, "Oh, I get judged," which means that they're judging others.
Mm, yeah.
So it's all about, like, when you're afraid of something because you're doing that with somebody already.
Already. That's
So
deep. That's deep for
yeah,
sure.
so which means like we should be open about everything. If I'm like calling people and saying, "Hey, I bought a house, I got the job, I got a car," I should be able to call and say, "Hey, like I'm fucked up, man. Like I don't know what to do. Like I'm fighting with this, I don't know who to talk to." Like we don't say all those stuff. I'm fighting with my girlfriend, with wife. Like we don't talk about this. What do you think about mental health is? Right? Why do you want to wait all this stuff, right? Like if you're okay to share good stuff, you should be okay to share like bad stuff because you categorized it. It's perspective. You might have gone through the same thing, and then I just call you, and then you're like, "Hey, I already went through this. Maybe try this. Maybe try these things might help you." That's what therapy does. When you go, right, they ask question, they try to figure out a pattern, and then they share those stuff, right? It's
Right.
figuring out your own pattern and then acting on it is the best thing that you can do to yourself.
Yeah. So that's totally true, actually. So in this world, like there are different types of societies. One is like community based, and one is individualistic, right?
Mm.
So, like you mentioned, depression always happen in the society which where people are more individualistic.
100%. That's why here, foreign countries, I think they go through that because when you're more individual, then you do that. Even now, like in like other Asian countries, this happens because everybody feels that, hey, like I'm disturbing other people, like I'm wasting other people's time. It's like, jeopardizing your own kind of the way you see it, right? So
Right, right, right. So I also heard that you do mindset retreats as well.
correct, correct.
So just explain like what happens there.
So basically, it's what we talked in a nutshell. If let's say um, somebody is working full time, but they want to get into business or they want to start a business, but they don't know how. Or somebody who's in their 9 to 5, but they're not happy in terms of, hey, I don't know what the next step is. I'm not getting promoted. I always get shit with my boss. And people who are having business who wants to scale up, right? Like their mindset first, and then scaling up their business, right? So last time when it happened, we had it in Mount Tremblant. So I bought a billionaire from Ottawa who came from nothing to like whatever he made. So he has around 21 businesses that he runs today. And he spent 3 days with us from Friday till Sunday. So it was very close setting. So it was 12 people. So we
Mm-hmm.
had a private chef who had us like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So go on Friday evening and then until Sunday afternoon. So literally masterminding and then spending time with these people and then talking about your issues and how we could all support and what are the tools and tricks and the way that you could change everything, right? So, and then seeing other people at the same time. It's not like some voodoo, hey, just a presentation or whatnot. This is like real deep stuff, right? And then obviously networking and whatnot, right? So this is something that, I used to go for retreats and that's how I got motivated. And then I was like, hey, everybody can do this. Like, it's all about like what you thought about yourself right? And I always feel that every single person has a story to share,
Hmm.
and I wanted to be the
100%.
mic. I wanted to be the mic for it, right? So
That's my whole purpose about this podcast is the same, that like the thing that you said.
yeah,
Everybody has a story to share and everybody
absolutely.
can learn from everyone.
That's it. You got it, man. So that's exactly what. And, we had amazing contact results. And, so it's like, it's all the people that, everything is within you, right? It's like, but understanding that and executing it is the hardest part because everybody knows everything, but how do you act on it and how do you do stuff is everything. Like everything is within you, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, let me know when it happens next time. I want to come as well.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
want to
for
join.
sure. For sure. It'll be next year summer. So, yeah.
Right. That's cool. And also, if you like want to go for Joe Dispenza, we can plan something together
Yeah, definitely. This will be a
because
good
I
time
follow
in
him a
December.
lot as well.
Yeah, because it's happening. Like, I know somebody who went to the weekly retreat, 1 week retreat.
Hmm.
They said it was life changing.
Mostly it happens in Caribbean.
This time it happened in Mexico. No, they do in convention centers too. Like it happened in Chicago. It happened in a few other places.
It happened in Toronto as well a few years ago, like 2, 3 years
Yeah, yeah,
ago,
yeah. And
something.
that time he was not even like famous, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah, definitely. We'll definitely, you know, go for it. And here in Montreal, they do even have Joe Dispenza's meditation.
Hmm.
So
That's
like,
cool.
people who went to the retreat, they came and started doing it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I only went to one retreat. It's by Tony Robbins,
Oh yeah, did you go to that? Which one?
UPW.
Okay, online or did you go in person?
No, I in person. It was in
New
Dallas.
Jersey?
Dallas.
Dallas? Okay.
Yeah.
So you went to the 3-day thingy?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
3 days.
I have a friend, she has a platinum member. So
Wow. Yeah. They have to. They have like every year they have some
yeah, it's
program.
100K a
They
year, I think so. Yeah.
something like that. That's cool. Yeah. So they made us walk on the
The fire.
coals, the fire
Yeah.
coals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
South
It was
India, they
fun.
do that. They pray for God and then they do that. So
Right. 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 Right.
yeah,
Exactly.
because my business partner, he did that. He just went 2 weeks ago. So the one in New Jersey one. So he went there for 5 days. And then he said he walked on the stuff. I said, yeah, they used to do that in India and South India, like praying for God and then doing it, right?
Right.
So
Right. Right. So yeah, that's the same thing. It's like we are all scared,
mm,
but when we believe we can do it,
we can do
even
it.
the
That's
yeah,
like an
even
example.
yeah, that's the best example. So if you believe in it, you can achieve it,
100%.
basically. Right. So so the other because you have a good presence, like a great presence on social media.
I
So
don't think
how
it's
can
great, but it's decent. Okay. I'm still trying.
it's better than a lot of people, right? So how can people, instead of consuming social media, how
Yeah.
can they use it to leave an impact in the society?
Leave impact in the society? Yeah, I think the reason why I started social media is like giving back. I feel the information is received only to give. So I truly, truly believe that. So that's why whatever I feel like I learned from my life, I just wanted to share. So if it can change at least 1%, like I think I did a job, right? So that's my main goal behind it, right? So whatever I feel like I'm learning, I wanted to share. And what are the tricks that I did? And that helped me to, let's say optimize time, like, mindset, like now how to not think negative, how to really tune yourself, et cetera, right? So that helped me. And then the way that I see it is it's a journey trial on my own, how much I have gone my own self. So I just go to my old videos and be like, okay, this is how I was thinking at that point. It's like reading a book about yourself. I feel social media, like my social media, that way. So you just go back and see, and then, it's like, oh yeah, maybe, okay, this is how I was thinking at that point, and now it would
Mm,
have been a different one, right?
that's interesting. That's a good way of thinking. Never thought about that. That's
Yeah, so
amazing.
I was thinking that way.
All right. So this is the last question I have for you
Sure.
today. For someone who want to improve their life right now, and they are in a very bad state, what they can do right now, starting from today, to improve their life.
I think as I was stating before, first recognizing what's happening in your life, maybe like just write it down. What do you think that that something really bothers you or think that something negative is happening, just write down and recognizing it. Okay, this is the one that's bothering me. And then going back to the question of, finding your why, because I feel like, a lot of people, yes, they wanted to know their path, right? Hey, I want a good job, house, whatnot, whatnot. But those are like basic stuff. Like everybody will absolutely make it, right? But go a little bit deeper about what you really wanted to do, right? What you're really passionate about. I think once you're more passionate about certain thing, you don't have time to think like this, because if let's say you're really focused on something, let's say you're super passionate about, like ask yourself, if you have all the money in the world, what would you do, right? And then that could give you like reverse engineer your stuff, right? Like literally, if you have all the money in the world, what would you do? If you don't have an answer, that's fine. Once you start asking, your subconscious mind will start working. That's how you will get your answer. Because you're thinking about the stuff that's not happening. Let's focus on what's happening currently and then take that stuff that's not happening aside and then talk to you about, like, go with basic stuff. Like, just ask, like really figure out what's actually working. And then knowing what you're good at, what you're not good at, does help too. So there are like a lot of ways to like take yourself and then unpack yourself. But first recognize that you're in a bad state. Like that's the best thing you can do.
Yeah, acknowledging that you're in that state. Otherwise,
Otherwise,
cannot,
like, unless if
you never know
somebody will
what you
tell
don't
you,
know.
right?
Yeah.
Unless, if not, then somebody will tell you. So,
Right.
yeah,
You
and then
need to realize it first, right? That's
yeah,
what
yeah.
you're saying.
And be curious about like, stuff.
Perfect.
Yeah, and then maybe like meditate. Like, those are all like stuff. There are like ways to get there. But once like, once you started, then you will feel it. Then you will find your own path in a way, right? There's no like a 30-day scheme that, you can change everything. Like they say, there's no
Quick fix.
scheme, right? So same thing. Like whatever comes faster, it goes faster too, right?
Like you mentioned about the gym, you will not see the results the first day. Like maybe
Yeah.
the
Yeah, it takes
first 30
time.
days also, you will not see any results.
It takes time. Like why do you think like all the pujas and everything, like there's a reason behind why everything has a time to it. They could have literally said, okay, I'm going to do puja for 1 minute. But everything or process, like a plant takes so much time. A tree to get it takes so much time. Like, we ourselves to grow, it takes so much time. So everything, like just look things around you, you will like literally have answer for everything. Right. Like,
Right.
and then look at yourself and be like, okay, well, everything takes time, but I cannot, do everything right now. But only thing is just take control of your own thoughts. It will take time, but it's like how do you see it? And that really helps you in a person in everything. Like, once you start doing that and you're helping your whole trajectory of your people around you, your family, even like, let's say your mom would call and say like, hey, I'm feeling this, when you could literally tell her perspective. Like start thinking like this, maybe like you can never blame your parents because they only taught you what they know.
New.
They got taught by what their parents know, your grandparents. So like never blame on things, right? Because everybody is how they were brought up. So yeah, sorry, I can just keep on going, man. But
That's a perfect answer. And everybody, I want to thank you for coming today and teaching all this stuff. I learned a lot of stuff. I'm sure like all the viewers who are listening to you right now, they will learn a lot of things and implement, and they're gonna have a growth mindset instead of fixed one if they have.
thank you so much, Sandeep. I'm not teaching anything. I was just sharing what I know. So that's it. It's no teaching. I'm still a learner. I'm still learning a lot of stuff. So thank you for having the thought of, bring me in and just believe in yourself, whoever is listening, and that's all you need to do. So thank you, Sandeep. I appreciate your time.
It's a pleasure.